What did I tell you guys? The markets are back in the red. It's about 11:20 a.m. on the East Coast right now. We have the Russell down 1.5%, the Nasdaq's down 1.8%, the S&P's down 1.3% as the Dow is down not that much, but still it is down 0.5%, and we have the VIX up 2% as we have the metals. Silver's down over 3%, and gold is down 1.5%. So pretty much everything across the board is selling off. VIX is back over 32 here, again up 2%. And we got to break it down in this video. We also have to go over some earnings, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and we got some news from Kroger and Albertsons. We got a lot to go over, so sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and let's dive into the video. So, again, it's about 11:20 a.m. Everything is selling off right now, and lo and behold, the resistance we called out yesterday on SPY and Triple Q, sellers came in like that, right? You saw that this morning, guys. We tried pumping this morning in the pre-market. If I pull the intraday up, we did pump. We didn't try to pump. We did pump. We got all the way to about 273, and then once the markets opened, I mean, this thing started collapsing very quickly. Now Triple Q's at 264. It is down about 3.2% from that pre-market high, and we have SPY probably not down as much, but it was at 371 pre-market. Now it's at 361. It is down about 2.6%. So we're selling off pretty drastically here, and the volatility continues. I mean, did you guys not see what happened yesterday? We got the CPI data, markets tanked. Then we ended up seeing a rip your face off type of rally, V-shaped recovery, and now we're seeing very similar types of price action, right? We ran up in the morning. Now we're dumping at open. It's kind of like the opposite of what happened yesterday. But either way, we have a ton of volatility here. And if I pull the 20-day chart, again, sellers came in right on cue at the 180 SMA here on the hourly chart, and now we're actually falling under the 50 SMA. And my guess is, guys, if this, and this is SPY, by the way, if this clears under 360, that is going to be, especially 358, that's where we're really going to start going for those lows again from yesterday, being about 348 in the pre-market. So let's see Triple Q, right? Let's go here. What level is this gonna, if this breaks, okay, clear as day. If this breaks 262 roughly to, I'd say, 263-ish, this is going to start gunning for the lows from yesterday, being about 254. So markets, let's just say, guys, are in a very, very vulnerable spot right now. And it's crazy because these bank stocks reported, and we might as well just transition into that right now. JP Morgan reported, and the stock, last I checked, was doing pretty well. Let's pull that up. Yeah, it's up 3.5%, guys, and it's actually breaking out of the highs from earlier in October. Those highs were about $112. Now we're pushing 113, 114, up $4 on the day. Again, 3.7%. So they actually beat EPS and revenue. Let's talk about it. They did $3.12 versus $2.88 expected, so they beat that on EPS. And revenue came in at $32.72 billion versus $32.12 billion estimated. So beat EPS, beat revenue, and revenue a year ago, to give you guys a little insight here, was $29.65 billion. So year over year, whatever that is, from 29.65 to 32.7, I'd say that's close to 10%, right? Maybe a little bit less, whatever that is. Decent. That's pretty decent here for JP Morgan, and this is one that's slowly starting to get away from me. If you guys recall in a couple videos ago, I forget, but you guys remember, I mean, we were talking about the bank stocks, and I was saying if JP Morgan were to get down to 80, 85, 90, I would consider buying some. I've never owned the stock, and I've always wanted to own at least one bank stock, but I've never had, I guess, the opportunity to get them at decent levels. If you guys remember, bank stocks ripped pretty aggressively from 2013-14 all the way to 2020. There was a 5-6 year stretch where JP Morgan went from 55 to 60 all the way to about $150, and then it actually went even higher after COVID to about 172. So it's been, I haven't had the chance really to get JP Morgan. I told you guys about Wells Fargo, which we'll talk about in a second. I used to own that, lost money on it. Now JP Morgan is starting to get away from me. But overall, they crushed it. Who cares? I mean, I might not be able to buy it as a long-term investment, but as a trade, guys, hey, this might be an opportunity. If it starts breaking out of this downtrend, which right now it's testing it, if it starts breaking, I'd say 115, 120, that's where we could start gaining some steam to the upside. And let's pull up Wells Fargo. WFC, this is up 5% right now, guys, and this is breaking out of the highs, well above the highs from earlier in this month. We're above the moving averages, and we do have a head and shoulders kind of here. You guys see that, right? If I zoom in a bit, we do have a head and shoulders, but it looks like, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like we're starting to break out of the neckline, which is good. So what I'm going to do here, I'm thinking here, I'm probably going to put my alert. I have one at 47 and 51. Maybe I should put another one, 3 alerts on Wells Fargo, guys. Maybe at 45. Let's do that now, which is a little bit above where we are now. We're at $44.35 to be exact. It's a little bit above where we are now. So if we break 45, the neckline would break. I think would fill the gap to 47 at that point. Then if 47 breaks, 50, 51, that's what I'm thinking. So Wells Fargo, they did 85 cents versus $1.09 estimated, so they actually missed EPS by a pretty big margin there, but they beat revenue. I guess that saved the stock today, guys, at least from what I'm seeing. Revenue came in at $19.5 billion versus the $18.77 billion estimate. And let me see, did they give guidance? Actually, I didn't even look to see if JP Morgan gave guidance. Maybe not. I don't think they gave guidance because I probably would have saw it already. Says EPS cut, blah, 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 blah. I don't think they cut their EPS. But either way, guys, I'll look deeper into that. But overall, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, just know these stocks are erupting. And we have Bank of America next week. This is probably moving as well. Yeah, it's up 1.5%. I think we have Goldman Sachs next week, which is down a little bit on the day. But either way, it's on the 18th. I think that's on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day that ends up landing on. So banks, I'm watching them extremely closely right now. And, they're doing pretty well. It's, the most green stock on my watch list today, so far at least, is JP Morgan. So let's transition. Let's talk a little bit about Kroger and Albertsons. And actually, before we even do that, if you guys haven't gotten your 15 stocks for Moomoo yet, use that link down below or go to StockSurfFest.com/Moomoo. Deposit at least $100 and you could get up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. And it also helps out the channel, guys. I appreciate you all as always. And you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. Link down below. And now let's talk about Kroger. So Kroger, if you guys didn't know, one of the biggest grocery chains in the United States, they just announced today on Friday that they're going to be buying Albertsons, which is also one of the biggest grocery chains in the U.S. And the crazy thing is, I don't think I've been to either of these. Is there Kroger on the East Coast? I mean, I'm sure there is, but in Jersey, I haven't seen really any Krogers. At least maybe I'm just not seeing them. But here we have like Whole Foods. Wegmans is a big one. Of course, like Walmart. What else? ShopRite. That's one. But yeah, Kroger, I don't think I've ever shopped that one. I've never for sure shopped at Albertsons. I think Albertsons, let me know in the comments, guys. Where are you guys, and do you shop at these places? But just saying, I've never have here in New Jersey. But either way, Kroger is buying Albertsons for $24.6 billion, creating a supermarket behemoth to take on the one and only Walmart, which you guys know Walmart, they sell pretty much everything, and they're really heavy now into groceries, right? So Kroger, if we're looking at the financing here, they're going to be paying $34.10 for each Albertsons share, which, let me see, what the heck's Albertsons ticker? I don't even know. You see, this is how you know, guys. Yeah, this is it, ACI. Yep, look at ACI. Well, now it's down 7%. Hold on a second. Wait a second. It's down 7%, but earlier it was up a lot. It was up to 32. Either way, let's talk a little bit more about the financing here. They will pay $34.10 per share for each Albertsons share, representing a premium of about 33% to the stock's closing price on Wednesday, which is before this news of the merger came out. And we'll see, if it officially goes through yet. It's not 100% through yet, obviously, but time will tell what happens with that. And Kroger plans to fund the deal using a combination of cash on hand and proceeds from a $17.4 billion in debt financing from Citi and Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, you're getting your hands in this deal, aren't you? After the deal closes, which is expected in early 2024, Kroger CEO, I forget his first name, but I think his last name is McMullen, will continue to serve as the head of the combined company. So that's what we're seeing here. I mean, didn't Amazon buy Whole Foods? I mean, this is what we're going to be seeing with a lot of these companies. And I mean, the argument here is, I was reading an article. It's like, and this goes with all these mergers for the most part. It's like, is this going to stifle competition? They're going to be able to, increase prices and gouge the customer. But I don't really think that that's the case. I mean, if they combine, they should be able to get, economies of scale. We'll see. But overall, ACI down 7%. Kroger, which is one that we traded multiple times earlier in this year, called it out very nicely on this big move. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but it was back in February, March. It went all the way to 63. So it looks like the markets, I mean, they're not liking this deal. I mean, even Albertsons, which it's being bought out for $34.10 per share, and now it's at like 27 or something. Even Albertsons is down, which is quite interesting. So what do you guys think? Again, have you shopped at Kroger, Albertsons? I'm sure you have. I mean, a lot of you watch from all over the world, all over the country. I'm sure you've shopped at these places. What do you guys think about this? Seriously, I'd love to know about your thoughts. So let's see, what are we in? Or we're about 11, 12 minutes in. That might be a good spot to end off the video. So if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. We'll talk about more stocks later. I know a lot of you guys like my longer videos, but we got to keep some of the videos short, 11, 12 minutes. That might be the sweet spot for the earlier videos. The night videos, we're going to keep them at 20, 25 minutes. But either way, if you enjoy the video, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Check out my Patreon. Get your 15 stocks from Moomoo, 12 stocks from Weeble, and well, I guess that's it. Yeah, everything's down below, guys. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.